my neighbor doing something. Do you all hear background noise? Is my voice clear? The background noise, okay kan? Can be apa tuh? Can be ignored. Okay. So let's see who's still not joining. Ivan, Farah, Lim, not yet. Kelvin, Shak, Russell, Jeremiah, Noel, Wong, Daniel, Alvin, Celine, Jonathan, and Nathan. Okay, so two students still not joining. Lim and Wong, Zesheng Wong. Okay. For today, I think we will start with presentation first because the tutorial we don't have a lecture this week, right? Okay, so after this, we will proceed to the lecture first. After that, later on Saturday, we will continue the lecture for first hour, and then the second hour we all doing the tutorial lah. Okay, I record this meeting first. Ayah. All my pen semua mati. The ink, I don't know why. Okay, Lim already here. Morning, Lim. And Zisheng Wong also already here. Okay, so who want to present first? Hmm. Oh, Lim already here? Yes, Lim already here. All are here already. Haha. So I have read actually all of your submission, and I have I think there's no major comment lah. That's why I didn't comment one by one because I want to comment now lah. Whatever you said later, then I will comment lah. So, uh, take my feedback after this to be the comment for your part one. Okay, so I will not comment one by one your part one, your submission, because it is like I am marking your assignment already. Okay, so um that is not right lah. Okay, so just um take note whatever I comment later lah. Okay, so if no, but everybody ready already, right? Our group giveaway for Ian group. Yeah, okay ba? Because you are all in second year already and bachelor pula tu. So, I think, and then all of you have experienced presentation previously. I think none of you here is someone that um, really shy on camera because some of you I already saw how you present previously. Yeah. I mean, sooner or later have to present, so might as well start earlier. Yes. So Elvin, you are okay, right? So you haven't apa? You haven't go lah. Later you will go lah. Elvin, yes, Elvin lah. Last night, yesterday, who message, who texted me.
Hello,
Oh, hi, Elvin.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Okay,
you.
okay.
So, um, will you left letter after our class or how? Oh, iya kah? Not Elvin kah? Daniel kah? Oh, ayah, sorry ya. I don't know why Daniel and Elvin. I can boleh salah pula. I mistakenly think Daniel is Elvin. Sorry Elvin, si Daniel pula. Ya, Daniel.
I mean,
Oh, hi Daniel. So will you go later?
yeah, I can.
Oh, okay. So will you present today?
Yeah, I will. But yeah lah,
Ah,
maybe the formal, not the formal, very formal, not so formal lah. Yeah.
okay. So, did you rush? I mean, are you rushing to that apa? Because if you are rushing, then I think your group should present first lah. Yes.
Okay lah.
Oh, because
My
later
teammate.
you can earlier. I can excuse you earlier if you go later.
Okay.
Okay, so group three first lah. Yes. So every one of you in group three will present. Yes, good luck. Don't worry, I'm not so strict. As long as you can speak, you can look at the camera. I am okay. I'm very generous with marks. You can ask my previous student. Okay, no worry. Take your time. That's why I said we start with presentation first because later if we have time after we all have presented, baru we will start the lecture. If no, then we can start our lecture on later Saturday.
Hello,
Ah,
testing.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Good morning to everyone and to Miss Surayani. Today, our group will be presenting about our software engineering assignment part 1. Our group consists of 5 members, which are Chi Siu Ting, Daniel Tang Sun Yap, Elvin Tian Ka Seng, Ian Jonathan Lin Yik En, and Wong Yap Hao. Our presentation will have 4 parts. The first part is organization background, requirement gathering technique and problem faced, software attributes, and software process model. The first part will be the organization background. So the organization that we chose is Tanaki Engineering. So Tanaki Engineering is a car engineering shop. Their main services are repair cars, car maintenance, and servicing. Tanaki Engineering is founded by Mr. Thomas Hong in 2008. It is mainly located at Kampung Hubab, Pinampang. Since it's a very small shop, so it has small numbers of workers.
Okay.
So there are also other services that they provide. One of it is to like find and order specific car parts for customer that they request. Like since many cars are different, so they want like specific car parts. So all the suppliers are mainly around Sabah, such as like Papar, um, Inanam, Pinampang. Yeah. So examples of like um, examples of the suppliers are like Wunseng Auto Parts, Top and Best, Sindaram Berhad. Yeah. And example of the frequently requested car parts that customer would repeatedly requested for are crankshaft, engine block, flywheel, brake disc, valve, and many more. Lah. The examples are in the pictures. Like you can see like the brake disc and so on. So
Okay,
Tanaki
so
engine.
I have a question. So, do they charge for this service when the customer asks for other parts that are not available in their shop? Then they need to find from the supplier, right? Okay, so
Mm,
they do they charge that service or
do
how?
they do charge, but they just add it into the payment. They don't have like separate payment or something.
Oh, oh, okay.
So this shop um only have a manual system lah, like everything, the inventory, like the inventory they would just record any parts that they have just in on a piece of paper. So it's a bit tedious lah to like keep track. And then other than that, their transaction and invoices are just open a receipt and that's all. Yeah, that is Tanaki Engineering. Next, I will
Okay.
pass to Daniel to present about his part. Thank you.
Okay, so before that, Celine,
Yeah.
whose idea actually? This who founds this shop?
Uh,
Huh?
it's actually my idea because it's my
Oh,
uncle's shop.
oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Can anyone help me press the next slide? For our requirement gathering technique, we consist of two: using uh, using questionnaire and interview. Questionnaire the questionnaire will consist of two type of question, which is open end question and multiple choice question um, to to the employee to, to write what the current problem for the system itself. For the interview, we will interviewing the owner Tanaki Engineering. Mainly he's the one have the have the more knowledge about the current system itself to understand more. Okay. For the next problem faces the problem faces the major problem that Tanaki Engineering are facing are facing recording and managing their inventory manually. Mainly they're already using for a long time, so there are some inaccuracy occur within the system within the inventory system itself. Technically. For the second one is the availability stock of car part and tools uh, that are not accurate. They are not counted accurately. Mainly, because they are recording manually, they cannot keep track or estimate the number of stock that exists within their inventory itself
Mm,
accurately. For the third one, they still implementing writing writing receipt and invoice, which cost them a lot of trouble to keep track the customer payment, which customer pay which services covered itself. So yeah, that's for my presentation. For problem.
Uh, okay, so but Daniel, I have a question. So, can you please give me the example of your questions? You said just now you have two types of questionnaire, right? Open-ended and multiple choice. So, can you please give one example of open-ended questions and one example of multiple choice question?
Multiple choices is like how satisfying for the satisfying the using the current system. Rating for 1 to 10.
That
One is
is
bad. That's and 10 is great. Open-ended is like what's the situation that currently they're using. What's the problem or problem they are facing while using their system, the digital system.
okay. Yes. Okay. Ngam lah. Okay. Good. Okay. So, are you now actually in the place of vaccination?
Yeah, actually now mendaftar sudah.
Nah, that's why I said to you, there's a lot of counters too. But okay lah,
This
you can go
everything
now.
it's actually everything okay already. Okay lah, so I
Ah,
miss.
yeah. Okay, bye. Thank you. Okay, so proceed.
Okay. So for the software attributes, next, okay, we choose functional, availability, maintainability, reliability, and efficiency. So for the first one, the functionality, because it should have all the function that required by them, because like previously they do own manual, so the system like should be able to record and store all the info they want after they key in all the info, and then they should
Elvin.
able to find the info more
Wait,
faster and
Elvin.
convenient than the main system they
Elvin,
hello?
Elvin, sorry, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I need you to show your up until
Okay.
your shoulder because I need to see either you are wearing apa tu, a collar top or not. I cannot really see you now.
Okay. Okay, then I need to change the clock again if I get.
Pardon? You need to change
I
what?
mean like I need to change my clock.
Oh, you didn't wear apa? A formal collar.
What yeah.
It's okay. It's okay.
I change it now. Oh, okay. So
Your voice
continue.
is actually breaking up. Oh.
Continue.
Do you all can hear Elvin clearly?
In and out. Not really clear.
Yeah. Your voice is breaking up, for Elvin. Okay. But okay, you continue lah.
Yes.
Okay. Now okay.
Okay. So like the system has the function that for them to record and store the info they want, and then also for them to find the info they want that faster than before reach the manual system, and also able to run without error, like all the record and info should be stored without any error, and then also have the can generate the report which is yearly or monthly for them an overview for the overall business. Also, should able to generate the soft copy invoice after they are provide car service for their customers, and then also after they order car parts and to the suppliers, and then generate soft copy invoice for suppliers after they order the car parts and tools for the suppliers. And then the next one is availability. So this system should always able to run in their business hours. So like when they need to check the uh, inventory system, they should able to check their inventory system, how many tools, car parts they still remain in the system, and also can provide invoice to their customer after like they provide the car service to customers in their business hours. And then it should also able the staff to find the supplier info when like they need to order car parts, the tools they not enough for them, so they're able to find the supplier info and order the car parts in the system when in their business hours they require. Okay. So
Wait. The business time kan? From what time to what time?
what time? Oh,
Yeah, their business hours. The Tanaki Engineering business hours.
mm, something like 9 p.m. to 5 p.m.
Okay, so what I want to say is when you all letter, this is also for all student, when you all letter require collecting requirement, you need to make sure this is uh, for example this one lah, the business time. You really need to know their business time lah. Okay, so letter group 3 you find out their business time and then put that in your report lah. Okay. And then similar with the question, example of the questionnaire for the open-ended and the multiple choice. Please give example of questions that you will ask them based on that category lah, based on that two category. Okay, so put that letter in your report. Okay, so that is what some of my feedback lah. Okay, Elvin, continue.
Okay. So the next in maintainability. Okay. This like my other group member to present. Shark.
So I'll be presenting maintainability. In maintainability, the system should be easy to maintain from time to time to ensure that the system can be utilized for a longer period of time.
Mm-hmm.
Besides that, a maintainable system should be understandable by maintainers who maintain the system in the future. For example, a system that is well designed in terms of documentation of the source code is very important, so future maintainers will not need much time to understand the system.
Okay.
Not only that, the system should include necessary functions only so that it is cost effective, which means that the clients do not have to fork out excessive amounts of money in terms of hardware and software upgrades. Ian, you can go next slide, I think. Yeah. Reliability. Reliability is the ability to continue performing a task without failure or corruption for a long time.
Okay. Yes, correct.
Thus, a system should be able to maintain its level of performance under any conditions for a long period of time. Besides that, software testing has to be done from time to time to ensure that any errors or bugs found can be fixed before publishing the software or handling it to the client.
Wong, what kind of situation that you said just now, for the point number two, it can be able to maintain its level of performance in whatever situations, right? Okay, so what kind of situations?
Like when
The example
the
of the
amount of
situation.
users are a lot, a lot of users are using the system.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So put that also later in your report.
Okay.
Okay, so make it really clear. Okay, so proceed.
In this system, reliability is more focused on the inventory system, as the system should be able to display and calculate the right information for the inventory system. And if this fails, it'll affect the client's business. Next. Lastly, efficiency. Efficiency is the measurement of time and resources required to fulfill a task in the system.
Okay, yes.
An efficient system helps users to perform a task successfully with minimal effort and time without any issues, such as the response time of updating the inventory system. After user input, the system should only take a few seconds to update the data of its specific database. Hence, a slow
Okay.
system will affect the client's business in the long run.
Okay, so response times, you said few minutes or few seconds.
Few seconds.
Okay, few seconds. The few, you must give some range. Maybe around, maybe you can say that two until 10 seconds, like that, because we cannot, because few is actually ambiguous word. Okay, so nobody can measure that. For me, maybe 10 seconds is few, but for you, maybe 10 minutes is actually a lot, but 10 minutes not a lot. 10 seconds is already a very long time already lah, right? Okay, so you really need to specify the few is give range at least. Okay, so maybe 2 until 10 seconds or what lah. Okay, so put that in your report letter.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Uh,
Finish already?
yeah. Now I'll pass it to Ian to present his part.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now I will present the last part for our group
Mm.
presentation today. So I will be presenting the software process model for our system. Before that, we will make some assumptions for the developers or during the system development. So the first assumption, we will assume that there will be sufficient resources, such as the number of developers, because the software process model that we will be selecting later on, it will require quite a number of developers to develop the system in a short time. The second assumption we will make is that all developers that will be developing this system is very experienced, so that there will be no any major errors or like problems that is quite novice to happen. So they will not make any professional mistakes lah. Yeah. The third assumption that we will make is that there are no critical problems or risks that will occur during the implementation or the development phases.
Okay, so can you please later at least give one example of critical technical problem?
Okay. So for now, one of the technical problems is that, for example, during implementation, they might have like a system breakdown or the hardware is not enough. So we assume that all of these technical problems will not occur. So everything will go smoothly during the implementation or the development phase.
No, you mean there will be no, what? Can you please repeat again the critical technical problem?
Like, for example, let's say Tanaki Engineering has like a very old system. So we hope that there will be no, like, during implementation there will be like no hardware breakdowns like that.
Hardware.
Ah.
Hardware breakdowns. Hardware breakdowns. You mean the hardware that should be
Should be running the
um,
system.
should be running the system.
Yeah, or else it will cause a lot more problems. So we assume that there will be no like very critical problems that we have.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So, but non-critical can occur lah, right? For example, no connection, that is considered non-critical lah, because we can still find another alternative, right?
Yeah. Those are quite fixable rather than the critical ones. Yeah, that's what we meant.
Oh, okay. So that's why I said just put the example of the critical technical problem lah, because we don't know now. What do you mean by critical? What do you mean by non-critical? So later just put lah the example of non-critical also lah. One or two enough already lah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, proceed.
Right. So these are the three assumptions that we make. So the software process model that we will be selecting is the RAD model, the Rapid Application Development Model for this system. So the reason why we choose this RAD model based on our assumptions is that number one, since we will need a high number of developers, is to have a short development cycles. So which means the system can develop in a short time, and then can be implemented into the business so that they can limit the profit loss, because they can limit the efficiency. They can improve the efficiency of the employees in a very short time. Secondly, there will be high user involvement. This is because that just now Daniel has discussed that we will use questionnaires and interviews. So this tool shows that the users, which are the employees and owners of Tanaki Engineering, will be highly cooperative with our research or analysis of what the system requirements are, or any details that we have to take note of. Thirdly, the system can be modularized into functions. For this presentation, we did not talk about like what functions or what modules can be modularized, but based on the problems faced, we can assume that there are several modules, such as number one, the customer details, number two, the supplier details, and number three is the invoices and receipts that they will be outputted to the suppliers, customers, and their maybe reports. Yeah, so these functions can be modularized into separate modules, so that the the developers can be put into teams, and then they can develop accordingly. Like one team can develop this module, another team can develop that module, so that it will also cause short development cycles. So this is the three reasons of why we choose RAD model.
Okay, so you said just now short development cycles, right? So how long do you plan to develop this system? I think you should specify lah the months, the number of months or the number of weeks. Okay, so you put usually jangan sampai years lah. Okay, because RAD usually, because it is short development life cycle, right? Okay, so just put maybe a few months lah, but specify the number of months later in your report. Okay. Okay, so proceed.
So that is all for our presentation today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. But before that, but I saw you are wearing a collar top lah, right? Yes. No. Later, when you all doing the presentations, even though it is only online, but later if you do presentation physically, memang it is compulsory for you to wear a formal attire lah. But for now, because we are in a video conference, then it is enough to show you that you are wearing a formal, and then formal lah. Because why? It is showing that you are serious about what you are doing. Okay, so that is the first impression, especially when you are presenting in front of your client, and they just show you macam like baru bangun tidur, your hair is messy, your clothes is just a t-shirt, like your baju tidur. Okay, so don't do that. That's why I am asking you all to prepare or to wear a formal attire. I think I have told you all previously, right? Wear formal attire, right? Okay, so later, please wear formal attire. Whatever you presenting later, not only in this course. Okay, so in another course, even though your lecturer didn't mention about that, make sure whenever you're presenting, wear formal attire or at least a smart casual. Smart casual meaning it has collar and then it is not so like this smart casual lah. If they didn't mention the formal attire or formal code lah. I mean the attire code. If nobody mentioned about attire code, you at least wear smart casual or formal attire. Okay, because it will show you that you are serious about what you are doing, because you want to give people a good impression about yourself, about what you are presenting. It is showing that you all actually is a very disciplined and structured person, meaning someone that in order lah. It is someone that not someone like yang macam mana, it is not macam not serious about what they are doing, not care about what people thinks about them. Okay, so yes, thank you, group 3. Now, yeah, so we can proceed with group another group. Okay, so who wants to volunteer? Group 1. Okay, good. So usually, right, I will not comment. I mean, for example, your software process, especially your software process model. I will not say that okay, this is not suitable. That is not. You should use this. Okay, so because why? Like I said in our lecture, there are no perfect software process model for every real world business situation or scenario, because it is depending on your team discussion. Why do you want to choose them? Okay, so but based on the relevant assumptions lah, like what the group 1 did just now, it is still, because it is a relevant assumption, so I still can accept them. Okay, so proceed, group 1.
Hello, good morning.
Yes.
And today our group will be presenting the part 1 assignment.
Yes.
So our group consists of me, Linuel, and Okshan, Lim Jing, Shang, and Nathan.
Oh, Noel, your voice is breaking up. I mean, it is
Oh.
become softer. Okay.
Hello.
Yes, now okay.
So I'll start with. So the content is, first is organization background, second is requirement gathering technique, third is problems of existing system, and next is software quality attribute, and last is software process model. So I would like to start with organization background. So our organization that we choose is Sutra Harbour Resort, which is a 384 integrated property development on the coastline of Kota Kinabalu, city center of Sabah, Malaysia. So this resort is one of the main tourist attraction, which attracts lots of local tourists and as well as international tourists from different countries. So this is the example.
Okay.
And Sutra Harbor has more than 150 employees that works in Sutra Harbor Resort, and currently they are using the employee attendance system.
Oh, okay.
However, the current system was done traditionally, which is they use a big book and a pen to write their name and attendance and also their signature, what time they check in and check out from the workplace.
I'm
So
quite
to
surprised
solve,
actually. Because I didn't expect Sutra Harbor kan. They are like a big name but still using manual system. But it's okay because this is only as attendance systems, right? I believe the other system they have another systems that actually already digitalized, right? But only the attendance system lah, still not right.
yeah.
Okay.
So to solve that problem, we come up with a what they say digitalized at employee attendance system, which is they use the fingerprint scanning.
Mhm.
Yeah. So whenever the employee come to the workplace, they just scan their fingerprint only and continue proceed with their work.
Okay.
I hand this over to Lim.
Before that, whose idea that one?
Uh,
Who proposed this idea?
Me,
You.
because yeah, I worked there previously.
Oh, you worked there previously. Okay.
So yeah, I found out lah, they still use the traditional method to jot
Mm,
down the
mm. Okay, so if you later, right? Please, because you have worked there previously, so surely you know the attribute. I mean, the attribute here is what data they recorded when they are signing that book. Just now you said they need to write their details manually, right? So what are the details that they write? Is it a name, sign, and what else? That
check in,
pardon?
check out, the time in, time
Time
out.
check it out and then okay, so put that letter in your report lah. Okay, so you mentioned you should say that they are, I mean the details that they are recording using the manual way is this one lah. Check apa tu, time in, time out, name and sign, right?
Yeah. So
Okay,
have
so
to
put
write in
that,
our assignment.
yeah, report,
No. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, because what I am telling you all now, because I am teaching how you are recording all of the details because you are now in the process of gathering the requirement. So all of that details letter you will need when you are developing the system for the client because you need to know what they want to record. Okay, so that details is actually important. Okay, okay, so put that letter in your report. Okay, proceed.
I hand this over to Lim.
Mm.
Hello, Miss. Can you hear me clear, Miss?
Oh yes.
Okay. Good morning, Miss. So I'll be presenting the information gathering technique of our system. So in order to collect information, we had conducted two types of technique, which are interview and observation. So for interview, we act as an interviewer where we interview each of the staff and manager regarding of how they think of their current system and in a way of oral responses to oral inquiries. So we find that this technique is very effective in obtaining first-hand information. Just so we know, some people are not prefer to share their inner thoughts when there are people surrounding. Maybe they feel shy or they feel afraid to share to express due to their company political status. So
Okay,
in
so
order
you
to
will
obtain
interview them. Wait, so you will interview them one by one lah.
one by one, yeah, one by one in a room.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. And then
So in
their
order,
name will be anonymous.
Yeah, just we know only lah. They wouldn't know
Okay.
who shared the thoughts. Yeah. So
Okay.
in order to obtain the uncut version of the story, we arrange an individual meeting for all the staff and also the manager. So by conducting interview technique, we benefit. Oh no, can go to the yeah. So by conducting interview technique, we benefit from it by having the opportunity to study the body language of the interviewee, where a small gesture could sometime mean differently, such as maybe they are emphasizing their opinion like that. So apart from that, most interviewees act intimate and frankness when they are more willing to clarify facts. So move on to the next technique, which is the observation. So we observe the interaction between the user and the system, such as documents generated each day. No, I can move then. Yeah, and user feedback of the whole system for a period of 7 days, so that we can act as a participant to gather information in real life scenario of Sutra Harbor, of course, in their daily workflow. So can move to the next slide, Noel. By conducting this technique, we obtain additional perspective of how the new system should be developed. Also, we get to verify whether the elaboration given by the user coincide with what actually happened in real life circumstances. So most importantly is observation is a very cheap technique to be conducted. So that's all from me.
Wait. So when you choose this requirement gathering technique, your assumption is this will not be done during this pandemic, lah, right?
Yeah, just after this pandemic, or maybe this pandemic becomes a little bit better.
Yeah,
Like,
because observation is not really suitable in
yeah,
this
not now, not now.
situation now.
Yeah,
So put that lah later. So
okay.
by assuming that we are not in the pandemic situation, and some kind of like that lah, some
Yeah,
words like that. Okay.
yeah. Okay, this.
And you said that observation is cheap. So can you please tell me which requirement gathering technique that you think is expensive actually?
Uh, compared to observation and interview, I think should be questionnaire, because questionnaire we need to design the question and then print all of the questionnaire and send it one by one to the staff and manager, just so we know there are so many staff and manager in Sutrava. So I think that is the most expensive one compared to observation and interview.
But you can use Google Form, right? Google Form
Can
no need
also
no need even you just give them link and then you already can get all of the analysis, right? And then when you
yeah,
do observation
correct,
actually,
correct.
yeah, when you do observation actually, if you are in the real world letter and then you ask your staff to go to observe them, and actually you need to pay for their fuel. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
I
it
see.
is not cheap actually.
Oh,
So I think advantage of observation, you can remove that chip lah. And in this situation lah, I don't know, maybe you have read somewhere that observation is actually cheap.
I
But
thought you.
in this situation, I think for this Sutra Harbor, it is not cheap lah, right?
Yeah, big company. So need
Ah,
to arrange time.
yeah.
Okay, I'll
Okay,
tell
so
you later.
remove that chip lah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Proceed. Thank you, Lee.
So I will show my
Yeah.
screen now.
Yeah.
So good morning, Miss. My name is Nathan, and today I will be presenting
Yes.
part 1.3. So for my title, it is Problems of Existing System. So there are 4 problems. So firstly, it is fraud. In the current system, it doesn't have any automated function to check the data entered. Employees might take advantage by writing the wrong information for their own personal gains or customer gains. For example, adding extra bed or giving them an extra day. So this is because the system lack of automated function to check the data integrity within the system. So secondly, for my second fraud, data is in written form. Since every record is written by hand, valuable data will be easily be lost. So if there is a nature disaster of theft or people steal it, the data will be lost forever and unable to be recovered. So for my third point, it is inefficient. Since everything is written by hand, the process will be slow and tedious, causing customer to queue in a long line or the staff to write everything down. So instead of using a computer which is more faster. So this is my last point.
I think, wait, I think this system will not be used by customer, right?
Or the staff write things down, people need to wait in a long
Yeah,
line, causing people,
yeah.
yeah,
So remove that lah, letter.
yeah.
Okay.
So my final point, it is unreliable since everything is written down by hand. So as human, we tend to make errors. So therefore, the record is prone to human errors. And data integrity will not be guaranteed. So meaning that the accuracy and consistency will not be that accurate. So that's all for me.
Okay. I think I don't have much questions lah in this.
Okay. So
Okay.
now I will.
Thank you, Nathan.
Okay, thank you, Miss. So I will pass it to Wong now.
Okay.
Miss, which part to remove again?
Pardon?
Which part to remove? On the inefficient. The point where
Yeah, your voice is breaking up or no?
testing.
Yes, now okay.
Which part to remove in the inefficient?
Oh, the term customer, because that system will never be will be used by customer, right?
Oh yeah.
Because
Like
just now Nathan said, the customer will wait in long queue kappa. Yeah. So it is stuff. Change it with the stuff lah. And yes, please tell the accurate name of the staff. I mean, not their name, but the name of their position. What kind of staff? Or either cleaner, car, even the manager also staff, right? So please put the actual name, position of that staff that will be used this system. Okay,
Okay,
so
Miss.
even cleaner also, if they use, then you put down their cleaner. So even their manager also, when if they use this, put down the manager also. Okay, that one can, that what we called as ambiguous. So during the requirement gathering, um, avoid this thing, the terms that actually have a broad meaning, who is what which terms that is not really specific, has to avoid that kind of words. Like I said just now, like stuff, you must do specific. What kind of stuff, what type of stuff. Okay, so time, their working business hours, like I said, that like I commented from the previous group, working business hours. You need to specify their business hours, how, from what time to what time. And then just now, okay, few seconds. That few is very, actually it is ambiguous. Some people, and I mean subjective. Some people, a few, I mean 10 seconds is a few to Noel maybe, but because I am a very impatient person, so I think even 2 seconds also is already long for me. Okay, so that type of words which is ambiguous or have a broad meaning, everybody can interpret it differently. Okay, so avoid that kind of word. Okay, it is for everybody.
Okay, Miss.
Okay, so proceed.
Hi, Miss. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, so I will be the one to present the software quality attribute. So you can see
Mhm.
through my slide got 5 attributes here. So the first, efficiency. The new system must perform the processor so they can help the job of the user more easily. So the user will perform their task much more efficiently. Yeah, that is that. So the second will be acceptability. The design must be acceptable by any type of user, like understandable, usable, and compatible with other systems. The third
Okay,
one
so
will be
here, Beta, for here, user, I mean any type of user, you have to specify what type of user. Maybe a cleaner also, you need to specify lah, who is the user. Okay, so if you can say that the system can be used what, even though there are educational gap lah. I am not really sure the term educational gap, right? Because usually even the cleaner sometimes they are not really educated person lah. Okay, so you need to specify what type of the user that can use that, and then you need to mention either they are educationally macam higher ka, lower ka. You need to mention that lah.
okay, understand.
Put that in
So
your report.
okay. So in the third will be interoperability. So the system able to integrate with other systems such as payroll. It's allow payroll to automatically calculate on the duration of time that done by the employee. Yeah.
Okay,
Mm.
yes.
So the fourth, secure. The system should just allow the authorized user to access the information that's stored in the system, so that can be avoid the data damage that is lah. So other than that, the system should consist the sophisticated security mechanism to prevent a hacker to steal the confidential data without authorized access like this.
Minimal the mean time between failures. Minimal the mean time. Can you please explain again this availability?
About this
Availability.
this one is the last part, the last.
Oh,
My fourth is secure.
oh, yeah. I mean
Ah,
this availability lah. Repeat again.
uh, ability. So I just continue present the last one, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The lastly will be availability. Since the new system will always be used by the most employee in the organization, so the system should always be available to carry out the task. Otherwise, if the system is frequently down, the normal business will be get distracted like this lah. So in the furthermore, it means the system should has the minimum mean time between failures. For example, the system shall has less than an hour MTBF every years like this lah.
Oh, okay. So you already mentioned the minimum. I mean the mean time between failure lah. It is must be less than 1 hour lah, right?
Yeah, an
Just
hour
now.
less.
But you didn't tell the availability of the system. From what time to what time, from what day to what day.
Yeah, like if I can push that got the notice to announce then what time will be like in maintenance until what time is it okay?
Um,
Like come
yeah.
up with the notice like this lah.
Yeah, that one also okay. But I mean the availability of your system, even though they are not. I mean, even though they are not in macam you are not announcing them to fail lah later, but the availability of the system actually, from what time to what time it can be used by the user.
Hmm.
Can
Yeah,
understand
yeah.
kah?
Understand.
Yeah, because maybe if you maybe you said that this is actually online kah or standalone in that place. It is online
Standalone.
kah? Standalone lah. And then how about the working hours, the staff working hours? They can work
Like
every day lah, right?
Yeah, every day
yeah,
I think.
they got the night.
Even ah, okay, so the system must be available 24 hours per day also lah kan, because some of the
Hmm.
staff they will have shift kah?
Yes.
Even at night also they work, right? They
Yeah.
will send out, right?
Yes.
And then even public holiday they will works, right?
Hmm.
Because it is because it is sutra haba bah. Always
Yeah.
apa kan, jadi
Yes.
you have to mention lah the availability of your system 24 hours per day, 7 days per week, okay? Yeah, so that
Okay.
is also under availability lah. Not only either when your system will have a maintenance, we will mention that. It is also yes, okay, correct what you have said just now, but the availability of system is also important lah.
Understand.
Okay, proceed.
Okay. Okay. So I pass to Wong to present.
Hi, Miss.
Oh hi, Wong.
Mm. Good morning, Miss. And the part I'm going to present is the software process model chosen by our group lah. The software process model that we choose is the waterfall model. Waterfall model is a software process model that separates the fundamental process activities of specification, development, validation, and evolution, and separate them into 5 different process phases lah. And the waterfall model is a plan-driven process. This means that before we start to work on the project, we must plan and schedule everything. And the waterfall model is and detailed documentation will be produced in each phase in the waterfall model, and each phase will not start until the previous phase has finished. And this is the diagram of the waterfall model lah. And these are the process phases, and because of the cascade from one phase to another, which looks like a waterfall, so this is why it's called the waterfall model lah. The first reason for choosing the waterfall model is that the requirements of the system are clearly defined and well understood. Since the purpose of this attendance system is to automate the manual process of taking the attendance. So there is no new business process or function that needs to be created in the system. So as a result, the requirements of the system can be derived directly from the existing manual process itself and be translated precisely into the system requirement. And the second reason is the requirements of the system are unlikely to change during the development. So since the goal to develop a system is to only automate the manual process of taking the attendance, so it's very unlikely that new requirement will be introduced during the development. And the third reason is the system will have a long lifetime. So in general, a long lifetime system will require more detailed documentation to maintain, because these detailed documentation are necessary for the system maintainer to maintain the system later. So because a lot of detailed documentation needs to be produced during the development, waterfall model would be the most suitable software process model to do this lah. Because in waterfall model, detailed documentation are produced in each of the phases. And the final reason is the system is a mission critical system. A mission critical system means that if the system should fail, then the normal business function of the organization will get disrupted. So it is very crucial for this attendance system to have a not easy to fail, have a lower risk of failure. So then by using the waterfall model, during the integration and system testing phase, the system can be tested thoroughly during the testing lah. So when it is deployed to the production, the system will be very reliable and not easy to fail. And that is all lah.
You said that every phases will need a document for its deliverables, right? So
Yeah.
can you please give me one example of document that can be produced during any phase of the waterfall model?
So in
Yes.
here, for example, here will be can be the system requirement, non-functional requirement, function requirement, user requirement, those documentation lah. And this one will be
Okay.
for example, the system and software design will be like the system architecture design, the UI design, and many more lah. Implementation and testing will be the code lah. The code itself, like the unit testing wrote for each of the component by the programmer, and also the UML class diagram for the if you are using the object-oriented programming lah. And integration testing will be the something like quality assurance. So during the quality assurance phase, the QA will write documentation like the how reliable the system is. And normally there will be a rubric like how many percent the system should like pass 95% of the test before it can be deployed to the production lah.
Okay.
And the last one will be the operation and maintenance lor, like the user documentation for the user to teach the user how to use the system.
User manual lah, right?
Yeah.
And then from the integration and system testing, actually another document is test case. Test case or system test case planning.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I just telling lah. Because you only mentioned about the QA, right? Quality
Yeah.
assurance that time. Okay, yes. So another document that will be needed during the system testing is testing plan. Testing plan, and then some like a user acceptance testings document where the user have signed the form to verify that the system is working as intended. Okay, so user acceptance testing and testing plan in it is the deliverable in the fourth phase, integration and system testing. Okay, so okay, good, thank you. We proceed with group 2, right? Okay, thank you, group 1. I can see that all of you can present well. Yeah, so I mean you all can present during your I am not worried when you are going to internship letter. Okay, so group 1. Group 1, sorry, group 2. Okay.
So good morning, Miss. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. So good morning, Miss. My name is Ivan, and today we'll be presenting our assignment, which is SMK Lokyuk's student portal. I am Ivan, and our group members are Farah, Russell, Jeremiah, and Kelvin. So I'll be talking about the organization background. So, Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan SMK Lokyuk is a public secondary school. It was established in 1934 by a Bethel Church, which is located in Bukit Bendera, Kota Kinabalu. Their first principal of that school was Pastor Lee Wok-sin. And after few years happened in 1949, after the damages from the Japanese occupation in the Japanese occupation, there has been financial assistance and teaching staffs from American Lutheran Mission. In addition, two teachers' houses and school blocks were being built. So the school's vision is pendidikan berkualiti insan terdidik negara sejahtera. Their mission is melestarikan sistem pendidikan yang berkualiti untuk membangunkan potensi individu bagi memenuhi aspirasi negara. So Lokyuk is now one of the well-known schools because of the students who graduate from the school has excellent SPM results, and their current headmaster is Mr. Ong Soi Kung. So now I'll be passing the next slide to Farah.
Okay, so whose idea actually? Who proposed this idea? This SMK Lokyuk.
The idea was everyone's idea lah. Basically, we choose like few systems, but then so far we picked this one because this is the suitable one lah.
Anybody of you from Lokyuk?
No.
Oh, I thought your former your secondary school is from Lokyuk.
No,
So
no.
nobody from Lokyuk? Is anybody here from Lokyuk?
Oh, from our group. There's no one from
Oh.
Lokyuk in our group, but other groups have.
But Kelvin said
Yeah,
he is from Lokyuk.
Yes, Calvin is from Lokyuk.
Oh.
I mean,
Bayaka. Oh,
Yeah.
my bad.
Ya tu. Noel also. Zisheng Wong pun.
oh,
Lee Ming Chim. Confirm your SPM also apa ni kan? Okay, so proceed.
good morning, Miss.
Thank you, Ivan. Okay, yeah, Farah.
I will be presenting the requirement gathering techniques.
Okay.
So the first techniques we discuss will be the research method. From this research method, we used to investigate the current system and examine the problem. The problem will be on the next slide, so I will just explain briefly lah. So the problem mostly upon the features and the functions that lacking, and it is very just to say outdated lah. Next will be the refer other organization solution that is similar existing problem. From this we refer from the Tarsi intranet, because this current system SMK Lokyuk pretty much not everything lah. Not everything has the function, the features. Let's say like the homepage is not very updated, the attendance is not very updated, and etc. So the next method will be the questionnaire method. Yes, Miss, you have a question?
No.
Okay. So the next method will be questionnaire method. We will collect the info from SMK Lokyuk students and also the staff, which is the teachers and the headmasters and everyone's working there lah, about the current system. So mostly the website will be probably used by the student, the teachers, and also the everyone involved, like maybe parents. or guardians. So it's very public use for the who involved lah. So the next will
Admin?
be admin also. Yes, admin also will be using the same system.
Okay.
So next we use Google Form features to gather the questionnaires because it is very open and free, and it's very inexpensive. So these features questionnaire we can use by using text boxes or yes or no question answers and ranking scale. So for example, like what type of what is this the current system satisfies you, and then they can say yes or no, and please answer this, and then they can type down the feedback on the text boxes on their own will. So yeah, so this is to make sure that they gave the real feedback from them, what is the problem, and also what is the they need in the current system. So that is all from my presentation.
Okay, but similar comment to the previous student lah, previous group lah. Later you need to input also the example of the question that they will ask, like what you have mentioned just now lah. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Next presentation to Russell.
Okay.
Okay, so now we'll talk about the problems of the existing or current system used by SMK LockU. Next slide. Okay, so there are four main problems, but it mainly comes down to the lack of online facilities for students or the parents to access information. So first of all, SMK LockU, they have an outdated website. It runs on WordPress. It's very poorly designed and rarely updated. Its last use or activity was from 2016. Then the examination results in LockU are still released by paper. So the result sheets are released after the students double check their marks, and there's no way to check it. There's no way for parents to check it online or any other method. SUBS is available, which is an online results viewing tool, but it is unused and outdated by modern standards. So this presents a problem where the exam result sheets can become missing, destroyed, or be hidden from their parents. Then there's a lack of online platform for news, events, and general info. For example, main news and special events are notified through Monday assemblies and notice board in the walkway. Paper memos are only given to parents for more important events, so some trivial matters can be easily forgotten. So this presents a problem where parents can occasionally be uninformed or not be updated. For example, when the child forgets to give the memo to their parents. And lastly, there is no convenient way to check attendance. So for example, when a student is accidentally marked absent, they may not be fully aware that they're marked absent, so it will affect the final attendance, and there's no way for them to check that they're marked absent for the day. Next slide.
Wait, Russell, can you please explain? There's a word that I'm not really understand here. You said that the subject is available but unused, and it is outdated by modern standard. What do you mean by outdated by modern standard?
SUBS is a Malaysian government education provider website for checking your exam results, but not many schools use it anymore, and it's very outdated. It runs on PHP.
Oh, okay. So that what you mean by it is outdated by modern standard lah. The modern standard is you referring to what? Modern standard. What is you mean? Your definition of the modern standard?
the interface design is very poor. There is nothing is really dynamic.
And then the technology lah. You mean the technology is
Yeah,
very
the
outdated
technology
lah.
is quite outdated. Yes.
You mean the PHP is outdated lah?
Mm, when you look at it, you can tell it's outdated.
Okay. So actually PHP not updated lah, right? Just the
Um,
interface lah. Are you referring to the interface?
the whole interface, the how the system works is it feels slow. It feels slow, and it feels like it's from before 2010.
Oh, okay. So you mentioned that. Let's explain what is so outdated about the SFPS. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
In
So
in in the part in your report lah.
okay.
Yeah.
So the next slide here is a screen capture from their current unused rarely used website. As you can see, it's powered by WordPress and it's quite outdated.
Okay.
So I'll pass it on to the next.
Is the location is still there lah, right? The location, yeah. The Google Map is still there lah, right?
Yeah, the Google Map is an embed.
And then all of this, all of the info here is actually really outdated because I cannot really see the text bah. Tarikh 12 September 2015.
2015.
This is actually announcement. The
Yeah.
announcement.
And this is
But
this is
2015.
the main Turkini page, meaning the latest.
Astaga. Ya, enam lah. Okay lah. Okay, proceed.
Hello, Miss. Can you hear me?
Not really. Oh, your voice is so soft.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah. Can lah now.
Okay. Hi, my name is Jeremiah, and I'm going to present about the software quality attributes of the LogU students and staff portal. So, firstly, for the software quality attributes, is we should have like a secure attribute. So, it's because it's important to protect like sensitive information by the system, to prevent unauthorized access from malicious parties. For example, like sensitive information like phone number, email address, and like home addresses of like those for students and staff lah. And the user of the system, which is the student and staff, they shouldn't be they should able to log into the system and do not worry about their credentials and like sensitive information being leaked out or compromised or stolen lah. Yeah.
Previously, Noel also said that the user for this system, also the parents and also the admin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So mention that also here lah.
Yeah. We'll add later lah.
Yeah. Because it will makes the information not complete or not consistent. Previously, you said that it will be used by 4 users, but now only 2 users. So that kind of inconsistency when you wrote letter in your document, it will make your quality assurance, if your company have a quality assurance, will notice that lah. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, make it consistent. Okay, proceed.
Okay. Alright. So I'll proceed to the second point, which is accessibility. So the proposed online student portal should allow the users to easily navigate and access the functions they intend to use. So it allows user to change the user's preferred language. Like most commonly you see in like those website, the preferred language like Malay, English, Chinese. But actually the main default language should be English lah. Yeah. And Additionally, users should be able to easily access information such as attendance, news, events, results, and attendance. Oh, sorry, yeah, and results. So, like for example, if instead of constantly visiting the notice board and having to inform parents of the events at the end of the day, users can actually able to easily view news and events through the portal easily, especially in this pandemic time also lah. And for the third point is maintainability. The proposed online student portal should be maintained properly, like in the long term, where it will work properly for a long time, and the system should be easily to maintain by current and future programmers using it. So this can be done by having proper command menu like in the source code so that anyone looking at the code can easily understand how does it work and maintain and they can maintain the system properly lah in the future use. Yeah. And the next point is availability. The proposed online student portal should have good availability, such as it is ready to receive input from the user. In that case, like student or staff, or maybe even parents, like they can produce output, uh, able to produce output or useful information, such as attendance percentage, examination results, regardless on the date or time lah. Like the proposed online student portal should be not prone to fail, especially in the time where between 7 a.m. to 12 a.m. But where like programmers or software maintainers wanted to do system maintenance, they can usually conduct after 12 a.m. because usually 12 a.m. No one really use the website lah. Yeah. And lastly is reliability. Or next slide. Yeah. So reliability. The proposed online student portal should be reliable, such that it will not be suspect susceptible to hardware and software failures. So, by ensuring reliability to the student portal, uh, is by utilizing proper hardware, like maybe better server and software, while having like regular maintenance schedule to ensure the system perform at its best. Yeah.
Wait, can you please explain again the first point? It
Reliability.
will not be, yeah, the reliability. I mean, the first point of reliability. It will not be susceptible by hardware or software failure. What do you mean by that?
Also, it means that it will not be susceptible to hardware or software failure, meaning it wouldn't cause any failure from the soft. I mean, it will not cause the software to fail or like hardware lah, like by providing better hardware equipment like server like that lah.
Wait, you mean your system won't cause any hardware or software failure?
Something like to for yeah like just like what Russell said, won't be prone to any failure lor if you use like better equipment, better hardware or software.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so another reliability, actually, another characteristic of reliability, when your software has a failure, it won't cause any economical damage. Okay, so that is actually one of the criteria of reliability. Meaning, even though later your software will be when they are having failure in the future, it will not cause any hardware or any economical damage lah. Someone will not macam rugi. I don't know the name lah. Someone will not have economical damage, meaning someone someone will not need to produce or losing some money or losing or the system will not cause any damage either to hardware or either to another software that can cause somebody cause or have a damage in the economy lah, meaning it will not cause any kerugian. Okay, so it is also one of the uh, criteria of a system that have a high reliability, especially for the because this system is not including any money transaction lah, right? So it of course I think it will not cause any economical damage. But for example, in the case of a bank system, so when your system failure, it will not cause any kerugian to any of your users. Okay, so but in here because it doesn't, but I think still okay lah. You can say that your system where when they are having failure, it will not cause any hardware damage lah or software damage. But software damage, you do you think that it will be integrated in any third party software later? No, your system.
Sorry, can you repeat your question again?
Do you think that this if your I mean sorry, do you think that your system later this student portal will integrate it to any third party software? For example, the SAPs later. Do you think there's a possibility of that? No.
I don't think so. I
Oh,
think it's
okay
a
lah.
standalone software lah.
Okay lah. So yeah, actually what I understand from these terms is actually it will not cause any economical damage either to hardware or software lah. But later you need to explain this from whatever you explained to me just now, and then based on Russell punya input tu lah. Okay.
Okay.
Because because this statement is not really understandable by me lah. Okay,
Oh,
so proceed.
okay. I think that's all for me. I'll pass to Kelvin to explain the software process model.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Miss.
Good morning, Miss. I will be presenting the software process model. Our team decided to use the RAD model for assignment, and this is a diagram that shows what the RAD model. Next slide. Next slide. Yeah, this is the reason we choose the RAD model is because the requirements are already defined by our client, and then it can accommodate future changing requirements. 等下吧. It's okay. So that we can update in the future, and so we can maintain the quality in case you can maintain the quality of the website. And then the third is the technical risks are limited due to the simplicity of our tasks. We need to do because there's already examples of portal we can reference like task view. And then the fourth reason is the development time of our system will be very short, like around 3 months, because the clients want it out early so the staff can have time to get familiar and test it. Maybe they ask for more requirements also before New Year. And then the fifth reason is the Lockheed staff will be highly involved and be interacting with the prototypes, as well as providing feedback to ensure the final product will satisfy their requirements. And all of this is under the assumption that a company has many high-skilled designers that can be made into many small teams, and there is enough budget and resources with resources required to accommodate the modeling costs.
Okay. Wait. Mm, okay, so proceed.
So it's all this is all for our assignment. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So if like that, please go back to the previous slide. Okay, so what type of module that you can think for now? The assumptions, or the assumptions of module that your system can have later.
There's a student module, then there's admin staff module, then there's the attendance module, like that.
Okay,
Okay.
so wait, can you please explain the phase of data modeling here?
The phase of data modeling.
Yeah, what happened in this phase?
Let's find out the. I haven't gone this deep. I didn't think this through. The second step phase, what to do.
Okay, so if like that in the business modeling, you know what happened in the business modeling?
No.
Okay, so team member can help. Do you want to help? What do you think that can happen in the business modeling? No? So if like that, later you all group 2, please find the explanation of this model lah. What is happen roughly saja. Okay. What happened in the business modeling, what happened in data modeling, what happened in the process, application generation, testing, and turnover. Okay, because if you see here in the software process model here, you need to explain the suggested model. Okay, so you roughly should explain each of these tasks lah. Okay, put that in your report. Okay, so actually what happened here is business modeling is whatever you done now lah. You do the background research, you do the requirement, you determine what kind of gathering technique that you will implement, and then you will determine what is the quality you want from your system, from your future system, and then what is the process model that you want to implement lah. Okay, so that is actually only the name is different lah actually, but it is, if you see all of the software process, for the first phase usually memang requirement gathering, so that but the name here is business modeling because it will model all of the business, the real world business company there, their problem will need to be modeled meaning you need to macam kasih specify it based on whatever, for example, organization background, requirement gathering and technique, all of what I said just now lah. After that, then you do the data modeling. Data modeling meaning whatever data that you have gathered from the first phase here, you will need to model them lah. Okay, so later you all find briefly explain this each of these phases. Okay, okay, all of the member. Okay. Yeah, no. Okay, thank you, group 2. Yeah, so that is all of my comment lah. Okay, so like I said, there are no major yes, it's better. Not it's better. It's yes, put diagram lah. Yes, put diagram and then explain a little briefly about that. Okay, so RAD use RAD diagram lah. Waterfall use waterfall, and then explain a little bit about that, and then justify why you suggest that lah, like what you all have done already lah. But please explain a little bit about that process. Okay, so like I said, after I read all of your submission of part 1, I found that there are no major comment or there are no major changes that need to be amended. And then all of my comment I already commented during your presentation. So I will not mark your submission one by one, checking your grammar because my grammar also is not too good. Okay, so when you submit letter, please make sure to give to other person or to your team member that is good in English, but there will be no marks for to correct grammar or not lah. As long as your content is there, and then you implement whatever comment that I have commented previously lah. Okay, so if you forgot about that, you can watch again our recorded video. Okay, so I want to highlight again whatever I commented just now. Please make sure that you all avoid using some words that is ambiguous, like few, like working hours, that but you don't specify the working hours. And then what else? Okay, so inconsistent informations, for example, in the background or in the organization background, you said there are 4 users, but suddenly in the software quality attribute, you said only two users. Okay, that is inconsistent. Okay, so after that, like just now lah, please explain briefly about the software process model that you choose, and then include the diagram. And then for example, you have a questionnaire. You said you used questionnaire, but you must give some example, not for example 1 or 2 example of question that you will ask the user. Okay, after that what else? Okay, so there's some words that I asked you to remove. For example, the customer. Okay, so because it is novel groups, because that system is not used by customer, it is used by staff. Okay, so remove that. And then when you mention staff, you have to mention their position too, specific positions. Because even though you said it is used by all of the staff of the Sutra Hover, but is that also used by the CEO? CEO also the staff, right? I think no lah kan. CEO I don't know lah. Either their CEO also want to record the attendance or not lah. But usually CEO don't want lah. Okay. So you need to make sure. Either even the cleaner also must use that, or even the housekeeper also must use that, even the manager or the clerk or the IT manager. So you need to specify who will use that system. Okay, so what else? Okay, so for those maybe I didn't mention now, but I already mentioned just now. You all need to apalah, because later I will also rewatch again this video, and then I will jot down all of my comment lah. Okay, so later I will see either my comment, either you all implemented or amended your report based on my comment. Okay, so Miss, can our group resubmit the part 1 report? Yes, can. But yeah, but like I commented now, your report, your part 1, I will not mark, because I will mark the final report later. So that's why the feedback I give now, you just implement, and then so that I can give a good marks later lah, during your final report submissions. Okay. So, we use 2 hours to do presentations. So it's okay. So later we will do our during our replacement class, we will do our lecture about software project management. Okay. So do you have any questions?
So far, no.
Okay, so if you all don't have any questions anymore, okay, so we can dismiss our class now. Okay, thank you everyone. I am happy because I can see that all of you can present. Yeah, so if you are now going to internship, I am not really worried lah, I think, because I think all of you can present already to your boss, to your client. Yeah, some of you, yes, already can present to your client, but to your boss, I think everyone already can present. Okay, so bye everyone.
Okay, thank you, Miss.
Okay, bye.